Journalist. You can find us too on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station and on SuperTalk TV, which is on your computer or your mobile device. You can say hi on the C Spire text line 601-879-4395. And don't forget to our SuperTalk Mississippi news team. They are always covering your Mississippi stories, and we want you to stay up to date on those. You can sign up for our free weekly newsletter. You can do that over at supertalk.fm/newsletter. It comes out every Friday with the best headlines from the upcoming week. So today's a good day to hop on there. But we always like to bring you some good headlines that we find on the lifestyle button here on Mondays. And so if you haven't heard, we've got a new Miss Mississippi that has been crowned. Miss Anna Lee Jolly, she was crowned winner of the Miss Mississippi 2025. Heads up, she will be in studio with us coming up a Thursday to share in the excitement of it. She was the second Miss Capital City in a row to win the state pageant after Becky Williams did it a year ago. And she was also here on Good Things not too long ago, gearing up for her week there in Vicksburg. So lots of good things that are been coming out of Miss Anna Lee Jolly. And so, yeah, we look forward to having her. If you don't remember, she was a wonderful ballet performer, and she has won several events, including the talent portion there on Friday with her ballet. She received the crown and sash on Saturday night following a high-ranking score from the judges. She's not the only one getting kudos here in Mississippi, though. There's a great article over at supertalk.fm about Starkville students that were recognized at a National History Day contest. Man, that's one contest I don't know if I'd do so good on. I enjoy history. I think we all should know our history a little bit better. But in terms of understanding it enough to do a contest, not so sure if that would be for me. But Miss Phoebe Jones, she showed up and showed out at the National History Day 2025 contest. Two students from Starkville were recognized for their outstanding work during the National History Day contest held in College Park, MD. Is that Montana? No. What state is that?
Maryland.
Maryland. See? Well, that's not really history, but I feel like you should know that. But Phoebe Jones and Michael, both of Starkville High School, were recipients of this Senior Mississippi Outstanding Affiliate Award. And they obviously are dedicated to the work going there. But if you'd like to read the rest of it, you can do that over at supertalk.fm/lifestyle. And more Mississippi high school seniors, 29 of them to be exact, were awarded cash bonuses for entering skilled trades. How cool is that? So students at Yazoo County High School received signing bonuses for pursuing careers during a Skills Foundation of Mississippi ceremony. They awarded $1,000 signing bonuses. How do you like that? Bonuses to 29 high school seniors. But to keep sharing some of the good, we've got Kelly with SuperTalk Mississippi News joining us. Hey, Miss Kelly.
Good morning, Miss Rebecca. How are you?
I am not going to complain. I had an umbrella when I needed it, and that is all you can ask out of life, right?
I heard Father's Day you celebrated by playing cards and stuff. That sounds like fun.
I did, and I just got a text from my husband saying, "Why you put me on blast like that?" I said, "Yeah, we're just going to start keeping a tally at the house on winners for Crazy Eights." But no, yeah, it was a good time. It's always fun to get a little competitive with your family in the right way, but. Yeah.
Well, I'm like you. I'm not very competitive. Like, I can sit around and play board games, which I love to do, but I'm happy to lose. If I can just find somebody to play the games with me, then I'm like, oh, thank you. They're not on their phone playing the game.
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
actually sitting here with me at the table playing the game, which is a lot of fun, in my opinion.
Definitely a win, for sure. So what good headlines y'all have got over there at Super Talk? We mentioned a few with our new Miss Mississippi. I know that was a big topic of conversation over the weekend.
Did you get into her background? Because it was really neat.
No, you can share that.
Okay. The new Miss Mississippi was crowned on Saturday night. Her name is Anna Lee Jolly. She got the crown this weekend after a week's worth of interviews, performances, and social events. She's a former Miss Capital City, and she won several of the preliminaries. Now, her talent is ballet, and she spent the first 12 years of her life in a Ukrainian orphanage. before she was adopted and moved to Mississippi, which makes her the first foreign-born Miss Mississippi. And she'll be representing our state in the Miss America pageant, which is coming up in this December.
Super cool. And she'll be here in the studio coming up Thursday. So look forward to having our new Miss Mississippi back in the house. So yeah, bright young lady, talented too.
Well, we had another really cool performance from another Mississippian over the weekend. Ole Miss track and field junior Arvesta Troop made history as the program's first ever high jump champion. The Fulton native took home the title crown at the 2025 NCAA Outdoor Championships on Friday.
Honestly, I think it was just staying calm, having a clear mindset, treat everybody the same, not pay attention to how high it goes, what mark it is, just go out there and jump.
That was him following his big win. If you want more information on that accomplishment, just log on to supertalk.fm and you can read all about it. And I'm sure you've already heard the news that Mississippi schools just continue to reach historic heights. Our state now ranks 16th in the nation for continued progress in education, right? Whoop whoops. Everybody should be doing whoop whoops for this one. The ranking comes from the Kids Count Data Book, which is the same organization that had our state ranked at 48th in 2014. And Dr. Lance Evans, the superintendent of the Mississippi Department of Education, told us their goal is to recruit and retain high-quality teachers, and it's working, and they've got some stuff in store for the upcoming school year as well.
We're rolling out an adolescent literacy initiative this coming year, as well as a wider math initiative that you'll see. And it's just, I really believe it's that targeted approach.
I'm glad I'm not a student. I'm not very good at the math stuff. I'm really good at the English stuff, though. I can do that. I can write. But another cool thing that we learned, if you haven't heard this already, Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hosemann would like to see teachers get another pay raise. And they're talking about K through 12 public education really being a focus in the upcoming legislative session in 2026.
And there's some other holes we have when you're skipping over my community college teachers. They have not had the raises that we've had in the undergraduate, and the same at the university system. So there's some other money I think that needs to go towards the teachers we have at community college.
So they'll be taking care of teachers, hopefully next year. We'll see what happens there. And, Hosemann keeps talking about how he'd like to get community colleges to offer free tuition. So I'm sure that's something that's going to be coming up next legislative session as well.
All good things for sure. And conversations, Lord knows teachers are saints. So they need to take care of them. Yeah, absolutely.
They really are. I have time, I think, for another cool story. A group of Good Samaritans came to the rescue of a truck driver who was trapped underneath his 18-wheeler in Coahoma County on Friday night. The big rig wrecked. It was flipped sideways on Highway 316 near Jonestown on Friday. I can't talk all of a sudden, Rebecca. I apologize for that.
It's Monday and it's rainy. Yeah.
Right. The unidentified helpers rescued the driver from the semi-truck, and at this time, they haven't released details on the cause of the accident. But I always think it's cool when you see Good Samaritans step in. And I think it's like Mississippians are kind of unflinching when it comes to that kind of stuff. They'll always step in. I see a lot of that.
I hope that I would, but until you're in that moment, I just don't know that you fully know how you would respond. I would love to think that I would lift a truck off of somebody, but I don't know. Right. I think I would be like,
That's what you just call 911. Like, I'm right here. I can stop and call 911 at the very
I
least.
can do that. I could definitely do that. But no, such good stories for sure. And I'm sure things are picking up there on the Mississippi Gulf Coast as we're in prime season for travel and visitors. Are y'all seeing more influx of people enjoying your beaches for the summer?
Absolutely. And we'll have Cruising the Coast coming up in October again. We just had a big Jeeping event, which gets bigger and bigger. And it doesn't get the credit that Cruising the Coast gets because it's not quite coast-wide the way Cruising the Coast is. But a lot of the activities are focused in Long Beach. It's kind of ground central for the event. And it was huge. I mean, it just blanketed downtown Long Beach when I went. We had a lot of fun.
That's cool. Good for the local economy for sure when folks come down and enjoy the Gulf Coast and everywhere in Mississippi. And too good when we go to supertalk.fm and read the good headlines at the lifestyle button. So I appreciate your time, Kelly.
Thanks a lot, Rebecca. Y'all have a great week.
You too. You guys stick with us. We got more for you up next.